but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, Week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the New York Giants and the Baltimore Ravens. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
On 1st down, Ryan. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's 2nd down. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
Matt Ryan sack.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
So on is the punter, Riley Dixon. DeAnthony Thomas will return it for Baltimore. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away.
Fair catch made.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Now we get our first peek at the Ravens offense, and at the helm, of course, the most valuable player of the NFL in 2019, Lamar Jackson.
Brandon, there's 2 weeks to go in the regular season, so you know the pressure is ramped up in so many ways. People have to win games, try and get their bonuses, the whole deal. But how about trying to close out an MVP award?
Just 2 weeks to go. There has to be a lot of pressure, though. We talked about that in previous weeks, sitting on his shoulder.
Yeah, he can talk all he wants about, I don't listen to that, and there's no pressure. All we're doing is trying to win games. He knows, we all know, he's been the one who's been leading the pack. Let's see if he can close it out.
And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 63 yards.
Partner, you know when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed and his elusiveness and the ability to get him on the ground and how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
From the 2, here's 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Dobbins, and he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, his 25th touchdown, tying him at Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator and what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games, and continue that in this one.
And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback.
25-yard line.
So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
And it's 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Ryan. He'll get this one into the hands of Lewis. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Ravens heading out on offense as we look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, it's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through. I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll roll him out right. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 27 yards there, a first down. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Yeah, absolutely. It takes 2 to tango. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
That is definitely what we call our defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
Give him 4 on the carry there. It's 2nd and goal.
A 4-yard gain.
And the ball smacked down on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. One more time with Dobbins. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. J.K. Dobbins, his 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Ravens will add on to their lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Over 1st and 10. At their own 30-yard.
New York ready to go again offensively. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the shotgun, Ryan. Catch made by Slayton. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. They'll throw on first down with Ryan. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
It's now 2nd and 10.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Throwing again. Ryan finds his tight end Ingram. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. And the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. 12-0 to score after 1 on EA Sports.
Ravens 12, Giants nothing.
Ryan now to throw on 3rd down. And yes, he found Toilolo. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47.
A 5-yard.
First target, first catch, and a first down.
First down.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. This is Shepard on the catch. And he's got this down to the 35. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down. They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is really flowing around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Montez Sweat in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. That's complete to Slayton. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first.
Keeps the score.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Play action. Now Jackson. This one caught by Isabella. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 51 yards. It's worth noting when you talk about Jackson's running ability that Baltimore wide receivers had just over 1,400 receiving yards combined last year. And Charles, and he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year. And the Ravens will extend their lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Fielded near the back of the end zone. And Ballantyne going to sit on this one. That'll be a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been.
And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Patrick Queen in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And they'll get him down here at the 23. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, if you prepared for this, and he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. He's going deep for Brown. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a gain of 34. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And this is caught at the 8. They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Andy Isabella, his 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season, as the Ravens push further out in front. And this part of the game's been an adventure thus far, but this one is good. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. fielded near the back of the end zone. And Ballantyne going to sit on this one. That'll be a touchback.
At their own 25-yard.
All right, let's discuss Dion Lewis as he gets set to go again. He's just been looking for some space. You know, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. From the gun, it's Ryan. He completes it to Tate. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Now Ryan on first down. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From midfield now, here's Ryan. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again. Ryan, he's going to loft it deep right sideline. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Yards to go.
Ryan will throw again. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Intended for Golden Tate. Incomplete.
Here's Riley Dixon now. They'll boot it away from about his 35. They'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go for verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it.
Graham Gano.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
You're impressed,
Yeah, I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much...
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Andy Isabella with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the third most in a single year. And the Ravens continue to pour it on.
Justin Tucker
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors. But that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more.
Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And Valentine going to sit on this one. That'll be a touchback.
Their own 25-yard line.
It's player spotlight time, and we focus that spotlight on the quarterback, Madden. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Going right side, he finds Slayton. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12.
First down, Giants.
Throwing now, Ryan on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. This is Lewis on the handoff. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Ryan, he's got his man. This is Tate. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. And they'll get 10 there, but it leaves him just short for 4th down.
And I believe that gain on 3rd and long. Changes things quite a bit because this would be a very long field goal. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for it here.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Not too shabby here. This will skip out of bounds at about the 12-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time, but they can't expect that going forward.
We'll see if it's that easy here.
Frankly, I don't know that this defense knows what to do anymore. Just look at their body language out there. The passing game has absolutely been relentless throughout.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Andy Isabella with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year, as his guys continue to pour it on.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Tucker now to add the point after.
The extra point.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time.
Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And Ballantyne going to sit on this one. That'll be a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
New York set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drive you deserve to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
At the 30-yard line.
They try again with Lewis. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Taken down at the
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
The tackle made at the 36-yard line.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now they'll throw it with Ryan. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 1st down, Giants on a pickup of 14. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Jonathan Abram.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And once again, they stop him behind the line. Great job by this Ravens defense. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Tate. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. Back now in Baltimore. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions. Because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remote's clicking off right now. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
At the 18-yard line.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game, and that's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball in a running back's hands,
and now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown, 82 yards. And this offense is running away with this one. As that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep. And, boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Brings up from the 24. They'll go again on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Ryan going underneath for Lewis. Ryan, 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. The Giants on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, Ryan. And Tate's got it. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. And 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing again, Ryan. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Montez Sweat able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Operating from the gun. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And the Ravens have got it.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through, and that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. And again, it's Chubb. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Giants take over first and 10.
New York ready to go again offensively. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Again on second and 10, it's Ryan. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Yards to go.
From the gun, Ryan. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Montez Sweat. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and we have reached the 2-minute warning. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you,
and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching.
It's a foot race. This one is Slayton over the middle. The 20. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
at their own 24.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And this team just continues to win football games. They're well on their way to another victory here. And that 16-0 season starting to come into focus. The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Mark Andrews, a first-time Pro Bowler, the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. On 2nd and 10, Jackson looking for Andrews again. He's got him this time. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 25 yards that time. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They run it again with Chubb. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. They seemingly just continue to score at will. And as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win, but one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken that. Because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ball game.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell me, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Giants going to take over again on offense. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches...
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Montez Sweat. My goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really turning in an incredible performance. To try again after the sack. Ryan. And he's going to go down again.
Matt Ryan sacked. A loss of 7 yards. And it's 3rd down. Today's final score.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Ravens, went away from